You prayed again and again. You asked Allah for a clear answer, a clear sign, a yes or a no, but all you feel is silence. For what? Why does Allah seem not to respond? Is this a test? A test? Or is the answer already there, right in front of you, but you don't see it yet? What if today you finally received this answer? In this video, we will dive into the signs that Allah sends you, understand how He speaks to you, and how to recognize your yes or your no. Because one thing is certain, Allah never leaves a servant unanswered. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear might just be the message you've been waiting for so long. Waiting for a divine response. The test of patience. You are there, suspended between doubt and hope. Every day your heart murmurs the same invocation. Every night your soul rises in the silent darkness, searching for an answer, a word, a sign, a thrill that would finally confirm to you, yes, move forward, or no, stop. But the sky seems silent. The days pass and your mind wavers. Was my call heard? Is my request legitimate? Have I been forgotten? Look around you. The world continues to turn. People move forward. Some see their prayers answered, others change direction, and you wait, frozen in uncertainty, like a traveler in the middle of the desert, lips parched with anguish, scanning the horizon in the hope of an oasis. But what if this expectation was an answer in itself? The silence of Allah is never empty. It is a space in which He shapes your soul, tests your sincerity, and refines your heart. What if this period of waiting was the springboard that propels you toward a destiny that you cannot yet see? Imagine a child begging his father for something he really wants. His father, in his wisdom, does not respond immediately. He observes, he waits, because he knows that the time has not yet come. The child, blinded by his impatience, only sees the absence of a response, while his father is preparing what is best for him. And you who feel this expectation as a weight, have you considered that it is, in reality, a protection, a cure, a preparation? Have you considered that perhaps your heart is not yet ready to receive what you ask? If Allah had answered every one of your prayers at the exact moment you uttered them, where would you be today? Perhaps some blessings would have turned into burdens. Maybe some yeses would have destroyed what you are building within yourself. Waiting is sacred ground, a space where the soul is purified, where trust in Allah is tested. It is not a void, it is a call to endurance, an invitation to strengthen your faith, to sharpen your perception, to understand that Allah's time is not yours. What if the real question wasn't, will Allah answer me, but rather, am I ready to receive His answer? The answer is already there, but do you recognize it? You are looking for a clear yes, an obvious answer, a sign that leaves no room for doubt. Or you hope for a firm no, a door that closes abruptly, forcing you to turn back. But what if the answer was already there, right before your eyes, and you didn't see it? Look around you. Observe the events of your life. Every coincidence, every encounter, every unforeseen detour, everything is a message. But are your eyes sharp enough to see it? There are those who wait for an answer by scanning the sky, while it is already found in the details of their daily lives. A sudden refusal, an opportunity that slips away, an obstacle that stands in your way. What if it wasn't a curse but a protection? When something you really want doesn't work out, you might think, why me? But ask yourself this question differently. What if Allah had just saved me from something that I can't understand right now? Life is not read by moving forward, but by looking back. You can only understand the wisdom of an event after you have gone through it. So, stop for a moment. Look at everything that has happened in your life recently. Don't you already see a direction emerging? Allah's answers do not always come in words. They come in the form of inner peace, doors opening or closing, people entering or leaving your life. They are there, but it is your heart that must learn to read them. Sometimes you feel resistance, an inexplicable unease when faced with a decision. It's a sign. Other times you feel a fluidity, a serenity, an unusual ease. It's a sign too. Whoever Allah wants to guide, He opens His chest to Islam, and whoever He wants to lead astray, He makes His chest narrow, constrained, as if He were striving to ascend to heaven. Your soul knows. It perceives what your reason cannot explain, but you have to give it the space to listen. Instead of being obsessed with the idea of a clear-cut yes or no, what if, instead of demanding an immediate answer, you asked Allah to refine your vision? What you're looking for may already be there, but will you be able to recognize it? When Allah says yes, there are times when everything seems to align. You pray, you consult Allah, and suddenly the doors open. The obstacles that seemed insurmountable to you disappear. Things fall into place with an almost disconcerting simplicity. This is the yes of Allah. But this yes is not always what you imagined. It doesn't necessarily match your expectations, but it fits perfectly with what you need. Maybe you wanted a specific thing, an opportunity, a person, a well-defined path. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, grants you something even greater. Maybe not in the form you wanted, but in the perfect form for you. Look back at your own life. There must have been a time when you wanted something intensely, but Allah gave you something else. And today, you realize that it was the best thing that could have happened to you. This is the true yes of Allah. This yes does not always come with trumpets and fireworks. Sometimes it's a whisper in your heart, an inexplicable peace after a prayer, a feeling of certainty without agitation, without fear. Those who believe and whose hearts are tranquilized by the remembrance of Allah, is it not by the evocation of Allah that their hearts are tranquilized? But there is one essential thing to understand. When Allah says yes, He expects you to move forward. Many people receive their answer but hesitate, doubt, are afraid to believe it. They are still looking for other signs, as if Allah were to repeat to them again and again what He has already shown clearly. If the doors open, if your heart finds peace after istikhara, if everything aligns naturally without forcing, then don't hold back out of fear or doubt. Allah has given you the green light. It's up to you to move forward. But be careful. Allah's yes does not mean that everything will be easy. It just means it's the right path. There will always be challenges, trials, times when you question everything. This is where true faith comes in. Do you really trust in Allah? Do you believe that His yes is enough for you to move forward, even if you do not yet see the finality of the path? Allah's yes is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. Now that you have received it, are you ready to follow it? When Allah says no, nothing breaks the heart more than hoping for something intensely and seeing the door suddenly close in front of you. You prayed, you begged, you did everything, but the answer is a no, and this no hurts. It burns, it revolts, it creates a void that nothing seems to be able to fill. Why does Allah refuse? Why doesn't He give you what you want so much? But let me ask you a question. Have you ever been saved from harm without immediately realizing it? There are times when Allah closes a door because what is behind it could destroy you. You don't see it now, but He sees it. He knows what you don't know. He hears what you can't hear. He understands what escapes you. Imagine a child approaching the fire, fascinated by the light. He reaches out his hand, but his parent firmly pushes him away. The child cries, protests, does not understand why he is being refused what he wants. But his parent knows that this fire can hurt him, and he prefers his temporary cry to permanent pain. This is the number of Allah. Look around you. How many times in your life have you been devastated by a rejection, only to discover that it was actually a blessing? How many times have you wanted something that, in hindsight, would have led you toward failure, pain, or even distance from Allah? Perhaps you desire something that is not good for you, but Allah knows, and you do not know. Allah's no is never a rejection. This is a redirect. There is wisdom behind every refusal. Sometimes what you're asking for isn't bad, but the time isn't right yet. Other times it's simply because Allah has better to offer you, and sometimes it's because what you wanted would have been poison disguised as blessing, a person, an opportunity, a project that seemed perfect on the surface, but which would have corrupted your soul, weakened your faith, broken your balance. Look at the story of Musa and Khidr. At every step, what Khidr was doing seemed like an injustice. Destroy a boat, kill a young man, repair a wall without reward. But in the end, every act hid deep wisdom. In the same way, every no from Allah is a hidden yes to something better. What to do now? You asked for a yes, you feared a number, but the real question is, are you ready to accept the answer, whatever it may be? Because what matters now is not just the answer, but what you do with it. Many people are stuck waiting. They pray, they hope, but when the answer arrives, they still doubt. They wait for another sign, an additional confirmation, as if Allah had to repeat to them again and again what He has already decided for them. But if Allah has already answered you, why are you still hesitating? 1. Keep praying, even if the answer is slow. One of the biggest mistakes is giving up on prayer once the answer is slow. Patience is a key. You don't just pray for an answer, you pray to be connected to Allah, to be guided, to have the strength to accept what is written. Remember, supplication is not just a way to obtain, it is a way to get closer. It is a dialogue with your Lord, a bond that you strengthen with each supplication. You can ask again and again, but don't let impatience break your confidence. Silence is not an absence, it is a space in which Allah shapes your destiny. 2. Observe the signs. Allah speaks through events. What if the answer was already in front of you, but in a form you didn't expect? Maybe that job you wanted so badly didn't happen, but another, different opportunity presented itself. Maybe that person you were hoping for wasn't the one, but Allah put someone else on your path with more wisdom and blessings. Look around you. Which paths open and which close? What are the detours that life imposes on you? Allah's answers do not always come in the form of words, but in the form of movements, directions, deep emotions within you. 3. Accept Allah's wisdom. Trust His plan. You wanted it to be now, but Allah may have written later. You wanted it to be an open door, but perhaps Allah closed this door to open another, better one for you. You wanted a yes, but Allah gave you a no because what you wanted could have been too heavy a test, a deceptive illusion, or simply a path that took you away from Him. And your Lord creates and chooses what He wills. It was never theirs to choose. Glory be to Allah. He transcends what they associate with Him. So, what do you do now? You move forward with confidence, with patience, with the certainty that Allah has answered you one way or another. Because in the end, Allah's answer is never a coincidence. It's part of a divine plan much bigger than your heart can conceive. Now you know, the answer you were looking for may not have been the one you wanted, but it is exactly the one you needed. Allah has spoken to you through events, through your heart, through His signs. But the real question is, are you ready to accept His will? If this video enlightened you, share it with someone who may be going through the same ordeal. Leave a comment and tell me, Have you ever experienced a moment where you understood Allah's answer after the fact? Your testimony could inspire others to see the signs that Allah sends to them, and above all, never stop invoking, because Allah hears every word, every breath, every beat of your heart. The answer will come at the perfect time.